Amritara.
Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sandeep, and I'm here to talk about our social enterprise, Amrut Dhara. It aims at reducing the use of bottled water by offering an alternative which is safe, which is affordable to everyone, and which is environment friendly. So I'll run through the problem, the solution we are proposing, our business model, the progress so far. So I think the previous team has already explained the problem, so I'll keep it short. We see three big issues associated with bottled water. Right now, a liter of bottle actually costs 4 rupee 12 paisa at the point of manufacturing, but it is being retailed anywhere between 15 rupee to 25 rupee. At this price, you can get milk, you can get breakfast. We think it's very unethical for something as basic as water to cost this amount. At the same time, unlike what many of you think, bottled water is not safe in many cases. There have been many tests conducted by regulatory authorities which says they do not comply with the basic standards. And most importantly, every year 1.5 million tons of plastic waste is generated just because of bottled water. And not even 20% of them are recycled. They don't decompose, they pollute the land, water. So you will see such kind of headlines very often. Tamil Nadu, 90% of the bottling plants are not licensed. So we wanted to solve this problem, and what we realized is the majority of consumption of bottled water happens not in homes but in public places like bus stops, railway stations, beaches. The reason is unlike Western countries like US, in India the tap water is not potable. So if you go to a public place, there is no other alternative apart from buying a bottled water. So this is the gap that we wanted to fill in by by setting up a network of water station that will provide unpackaged loose water with quality assurance at an affordable price. So say the water station might look like this. It will have on-site filtration which will filter the input water to required standards. It will be then cooled and it will then pass through a water dispenser. In the water dispenser, it will undergo some real-time testing, and the water dispenser will have the display in which you can see what is the TDS level, what is the pH, turbidity. So this will give the quality assurance to the consumers. They will actually know the quality parameters of the water they're drinking. So the consumers can come and fill in their reusable bottles. We will also be selling reusable bottles at the water station. And if someone do not want to carry a reusable bottle at all, they don't even want to buy from us, we will be giving water in a glass tumbler. So you can just buy a glass of water. We'll also be having a bottle cleaning facility in the water station. And so basically there are four components, say four pillars of the ecosystem. We'll bring awareness among people about the issues associated with bottled water and promote use water. The filtration system will be such that it treats the water to higher standard. There will be data platform which will give quality assurance of water, and the water stations will be set up in public places, so that it gives easy access to the transient urban population. So there will be some tests that will happen real time in the dispensing system, but certain tests cannot happen real time. So we'll collect sample of water from the station. They'll be sent to the certified laboratories, and then the water test result will be uploaded in data platform and transmitted to the water station. So this is how we are giving the quality assured water. So we'll be selling this water at a price somewhere between rupees 3 to rupees 6 a liter, and the market size is estimated to be 10,000 crore per annum. Our target customer right now is the transient urban population. Of course, the biggest competitor is bottled water, and then there's water pouches. There are a handful of zero BQs, but we do better than all our competitors in terms of pricing, environmental impact, sanitary condition, and we are the only one who are giving quality assurance. The team consists of Akshay Rungta, who is product designer. He is doing MA in New Media and Design. He leads all the design aspects of business. He's in Finland, he couldn't come. Minhaj has done MBA and is experienced in consulting in sustainability projects. There's some meeting going on with Pondicherry government, so he couldn't be here. I am in the final year of infrastructure civil engineering at IIT Chennai, and I have brief experience in venture capital with United Seed Fund and management consulting. We recently recruited interns from IIT Madras from background of MBA, engineering and humanities, and our advisors consist of serial entrepreneurs social scientist, water expert from IIT and Biome in Bangalore. Recently, Mr. Solomon, who is a serial social entrepreneur at Bangalore, he also joined the advisory board. So far, we have been incubated, we are part of entrepreneur industrials at Wilgrow. We have evaluated and identified the vendors and suppliers for various components of water station. We have done the consumer survey. We have done lean prototyping at 3 places. The third place we did just 3 days back, last Sunday. And we have an online presence through blog, website, social media. Just a week back, on December 3rd, we got incorporated as Amrudhara Water Services Private Limited. So we have done consumer survey, lean pilot. I'll just play a video. We interviewed a number of people in public places, and we managed to record some of the conversation, and I'll just show the snapshots of some of these. So as you can see, some of the key insights we got from the survey is that a majority of people already are aware of the bottled water is not good, but they just don't have a choice. So bringing a behavior change will not be as difficult as we expected. Also, people are willing to pay for water. People are willing to carry reusable bottles. So with these insights, we went on to do a lean pilot. We created a fake brand called Suddham Neer. We didn't want to dilute our brand. This is Marina Beach in Chennai.
In early November 2013, the Amrudhara team set up a lean prototype, which means that instead of creating a full-fledged final product, we set up a simple kiosk which helps us test certain aspects to better understand the consumer. We wanted to test people's willingness to pay for water, perceptions of cleanliness and hygiene around drinking water, and a sense of what the day of a vendor might look like. These aspects are helping us design a more robust, thought through final product and service. At the kiosk, we will have a cleaning station for hygienically cleaning bottles and glasses. It is a five-stage process that starts with cleaning with soap water, scrubbing with a brush, wash down with drinking water, washing it with bleach, and a final rinse with drinking water before storage for next use.
This is Broadway bus stand in Chennai. You can see the crowd around the kiosk. I mean, there was a stall selling bottled water right next to it, and behind it, this is a tap water. Still, people were jumping to buy water from us. We were selling water at 3 rupees a liter. We also sold reusable bottles as well during the lean prototyping. So, with the insights we got from the consumer survey, from the lean prototyping, we managed to identify what are the key pain points, and accordingly we devised the value proposition so that it addresses the key pain points of the consumers. And with that, now we are going to install water station at Coimbatore bus stand in Chennai, the Principal Secretary of Water Supply of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Fendra Reddy, has said once this water station this pilot is successful at Coimbatore, then the project can be, they will be will model a framework so that it can scale up to entire Tamil Nadu. At the same time, we have got access to 3 places in Pondicherry bus stand, Pondicherry beach, and the Pondicherry Bazaar, and up to 10 water stations we can install. That's what the Chief Secretary of Pondicherry have said. And so we have also partnered with several organizations. Wilgrow has been helping us since August and mentoring us. Axnora is an environmental NGO which promote environmental awareness, and they're going to help us in bringing the behavior change and awareness. IIT Madras, we are getting the technical expertise. Surgel is our technical partner who is giving us the dispensing system. Apart from that, we have gotten good support from various organizations. CREDAI has shown interest in sponsoring some of the water station. So is the Rotary Club. We have also got good response from Eco Kitchen, Boost Water. We are hoping to get some support in bringing the behavior change strategies and governance from Okapi. And so we're hoping to run the water station, have the water station running in next 2-3 months. And then we are hoping in a year's time we should have scaled up to entire Chennai, and then after a year we can move on to other cities. So the fixed cost for a water station comes out to be around 4.8 lakh, and there are some variable cost. The cost of water, I mean, there will be some variation in the amount we have to pay to the government for the land, for the power supply, so the price might vary, but it's around 1.5 a liter to us. And initially we planned to sell water at 3 rupee a liter, but after the consumer survey and lean pilot, we realized people associate the cost with quality. So if you are selling at too cheap, the people who are used to buy bottled water at 15-20, they find it too cheap and they think that's not good quality. So we are thinking of selling at somewhere between 3 to 6. So yeah, the money from the grant is primarily going to be utilized in installing the water station at Coimbatore. And so with the initial projections we made, we expect to install around 175 water station by end of second year. And this is assuming cost to be around, price to be rupees 3 a liter, and if that happens, we expect to break even in 19th month, and the net cash flow is expected to be around 26 lakh on 24th month. So we are, so as you can see, the main social impact is in terms of reducing the plastic waste. We are a bunch of people who are passionate to reduce plastic waste from country, while ensuring supplying affordable, quality assured water to the transient urban population, and in process of creating employment generation, we envisage to come back, reach to an era where people should feel guilty if they're buying bottled water. If one should feel proud if they're carrying a reusable bottle, because it should be indicative that they are environmental conscious people. So bringing that is a challenging task. It's a big problem, we realize, but at the same time, we think it's a very solvable problem. And to achieve that, we require support from a number of people, everyone present here, not just the financial support from Rockefeller Foundation or the mentorship from judges, but I urge everyone here to, when they go out, spread the message, communicate the message, and help us in bringing the behavior change. So, and join us in this mission. Thank you.
About your lean prototype.
Okay.
I want to know lots more information. How many liters did you sell in how many hours? What rate were you selling at per glass? Assuming it was 250 or 300 ml, were you selling it at a rupee? And how many seconds does it take to clean up a glass? And what was your stacking method?
Yeah, so how many liters we sold varied. We did three lean pilots. First, when we did at Marina Beach, that was the first time we were doing. So actually, we spent 1 hour in just installing the water station. So from 4:30 to 6, I think it took around 1.5 an hour to sell 25 liters of water. But when we did the same experiment at Broadway bus stand, we sold 25 liters of water in 20 minutes. People were like jumping, we ran out. And price was rupees 3 a liter. So one glass was costing rupees 1 for 250, half a liter 2 rupee, and 1 liter bottle 3 rupee. And what are the other questions you asked? I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, so we realized, I mean, when we scale up, we'll have to go to a more semi-automated mode of cleaning. It is taking we have say 20 glasses. We keep we keep putting it, like there are 4 tumblers. So we put 5 glasses once, then we just wash and put in. So I think it's not we are doing one at a time. We are doing like 5 glasses at a time, which can take a 2 minute maybe.
Consider the idea of using edged tumblers so that people could, for example, just pour it without touching them?
Yeah, that is an idea we have. I mean, that we need to have that kind of glasses, but still there's a perception issue. Would people accept it or not? So we don't want to take risk. Wanted to take that now.
I did find the issue of stacking either upside down or right side up, which we have had in, I'm a member of the Sri Aurobindo Ashram, so we have a problem there. Both ways of stacking are unhygienic. So that can be a serious
so in the tumbler, we had kept the white cloth, and above that we are placing it. So we did not, I mean, took it very seriously whether to place it. We were like placing upside down, but there was a cloth in the bottom.
With 2 people talking about bottled water, Aru, I hope this is not water poured from some bigger bottle and given to us like this. But
Yeah, I was
probably
really
is.
happy to see this. I mean, in all other conferences, I used to see
But
Bisleri
it's probably
bottles in
come
front
from
of
a
judges.
1 liter bottle, and just to make us look better, they have put it in this, which I'm happy they did. Seriously, I missed something important in your presentation, which is what system are you using for purification?
Yes, so that is going to depend upon the input water. Basically, there can be 2 kinds of input water. Either it can be the metro water, which is already purified to a certain extent, though it is not very potable. So if you are getting input water as metro water, you are using 3 modules. One is activated carbon to remove the chlorine and smell, then microfiltration, then UV. But if you are not getting metro water, we are getting some groundwater for which we are not sure how it is the quality, it's very polluted, then we will use RO. But we are avoiding RO because of many reasons. It wastes a lot of water, it's very energy intensive, it demineralizes water, and so it takes so because of this we are not a fan of RO, but only when we can't get a metro water we'll have to go with RO.
Yeah, we've clearly given up on the idea of getting public safe water. The chief secretary himself is telling you that your business model is, I mean, clearly the government has given up on the idea of providing the entire public safe drinking water. That seems the sad thing to me anyway. But so you don't want to use RO, environmentally safe, cheaper, I get that. What will you certify it safe for? Because how much will you analyze the source water? See, I agree with you that bottled water anyway we don't know what we are drinking,
Yeah.
but what are you qualifying it safe for? Because there are so many new contaminants coming into the water. So what will you be analyzing it for, and what will you promise?
So one thing is, firstly, we are testing the input water. So how we are calling it safe is with the discussion from the water experts. They have mentioned that these are the certain parameters which you need to test at this. I mean, you need to test TDS regularly. You need to do tests for this at this period of time. So we'll be conducting those tests, and that will be monitored remotely. So whenever we realize that this the quality parameter has gone beyond that, then we'll realize that we need to change the module.
So I mean, it'll be arsenic free, fluoride free. That's for sure.
Yeah, we will be
Bacteria, I hope.
Yeah,
but
we'll be going to
obviously
test arsenic
nitrates.
fluoride. Yeah,
Yeah?
we will be testing all that.
Right.
Okay, but it won't be pesticide free.
I mean, we will be.
So why don't you do a comparison with bottled water and what their claim to purity is? There are so many companies which claim a certain kind of purity, and you should be able to certify better than bottled water.
I mean, there is no. I mean, bottled water. If you go on to taste every bottled water, you might find different standard in every bottle. So.
You could name a competitor and say better than such and such.
Okay.
So since it involves human beings, not vending machines, right? If you eventually, so it's how are you planning? So you'll be creating people livelihood opportunities.
Yeah,
also,
all
right?
the water systems is going to be manned for various reasons. One is we have to make sure it is hygienic, clean, because that's a very important aspect to attract people. And second is vandalism. In bottled water sellers will come and destroy the water station. So all the water stations is going to be manned.
So you do realize that you are fighting against a very divisive tendency of modern urban society to do certain things because they are idiot proof. One of the things about bottled water is that people believe, possibly wrongly, that no matter what the vendor might do to that bottle, as long as you can buy that bottle off the shelf and kind of carry it into your railway compartment or whatever it is, you are still safe. That's not something. So here the problem will be that your person will come under question for not being hygienic enough, and even I remember you were the guinea pig who was wearing a mask and a cap and gloves and whatever, but that might still be.
Yeah, but see, in the lean pilot, you'd have seen me turning on the tap, but in the actual, it's not going to be the case. The dispensing system is quite hygienic. You have to just press the button, and there's no direct contact between the person. So, in the full-fledged project, it's going to be a lot more hygienic than what you can see now.
Franchised? Should this be franchised?
So, the model is the vendor will have a fixed salary, and there will be a portion of the revenue per liter of water that will be the vendor will be getting, so that he develop a sense of ownership with the water station. So yeah, it is a kind of franchising model.
Partial franchise.
Yeah.
Why do you want to not just franchise it?
I mean, it's franchise. I think it's franchise, right?
After a certain stage, I guess.
And you decided glass instead of not. What is the eco footprint of small paper cups instead?
I mean, what is the eco? I don't know the number in terms of, but we didn't want to test that because we might find people. Actually, people said when we asked questions, they said they would prefer to drink water from glass cups or plastic cups, and they wouldn't drink water from reusable glasses. But when we asked, what if we are cleaning that? Then they say, we don't know how are you cleaning it. Then we said, what if we make it transparent? You can see how it is being cleaned. Then said, yeah, then we will drink from the reusable glasses. So that's how we have came up to this.
But have you looked at, I'm talking about the economics and the eco footprint both of washing and using whatever systems, water. You're using a lot of water to wash, right? So I'm just saying, have you compared the footprints of these two models?
No, we assumed the footprint of other would be higher.
A probably a wise assumption, but still there have been situations where, for example, laundering of linen has been shown to be more expensive than disposable linen. So be careful.
Okay.
You
Do
should check that
research.
out. And
Yeah,
how
check
much
it out.
breakage are you assuming? I mean, take a glass, poop, oops, sorry. How much breakage are you assuming in glass versus, say, steel cups?
I mean, so far we didn't encounter any, but we didn't had any such case so far. Any questions?
Yeah, I have sort of two questions. The first question is, you've described a system in your prototyping which,
Yeah.
you're testing on two or three sort of vending things. What are the challenges that you expect when you scale this to 10,000? Because, there's a lot of water that's consumed even in bus stands.
Yeah.
So have you thought through that? That's the first question. The second question is, most of the people I've seen, at least on your test videos, are people who are middle class and have disposable income. Have you looked at the markets in low-income settlements for the slums? Do you know how much people pay for water when they're poor?
Yeah, so first question, the challenge is scaling up. The biggest challenge is we saw is getting the input water. But since we are doing it through the government, not the private way, we are giving this risk to them that we need 3-4 things from you. We need the land, we need to get the input water from you. So that risk is being mitigated. And then we need power supply, but in some places we won't get the power. So in extreme cases, we will have to, when we are not, we can't cool the water, we will be using solar, but in that case we can't cool the water. And if we are using RO, then also we can't do with solar. So if we are, the 3 module can be done with solar. So these are the two, I think, the big problems in scaling up. And there will be operational challenges in dealing with the vendors. So those are aspects we'll learn as we go. And second, how much would the people at BOP will be willing to pay? So honestly, our vision is not to give access to water to everyone. There are many companies like that. Our vision is to reduce plastic waste. So I'm sure that the people at BOP and lower medium are also going to benefit a lot from this. But we are aiming at is to make the people at higher middle income who are buying bottle to switch from that. So I think you asked about middle income. I mean, if you have seen the video, they were like beggars, small children who were also coming and buying bottles. So I think rupees 3 at least is affordable to everyone.
Actually, what I might be suggesting is, if you go and do some evidence-based testing, that poor people pay a lot more than rich people for water. And you might find that there's a very large market in a slightly different segment than you've explored at the moment. Typically, people who are poor pay between 5 sometimes to 10 times the amount that rich people pay for water. And they're very active water vending markets that operate in many of our cities.
Yeah,
so
but we're not looking to enter into rural segment.
no, I'm talking about the cities.
Even in slums, I mean, they are generally like they get water in bulk. I mean, there are like companies like Sarvajal, which works on a model, they give bulk water to the rural. So that's a different business model altogether, so which we are not thinking of getting into.
Last point, there are some policy things coming at this sector, the fundamental right to water and the question of whose water is it, the bulk water issue. That's all these are debates that are growing and they're going to come at you all. So in terms of de-risking, you'll have to keep those things in mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
How you would implement this project in a city like Bangalore? Because the water supplied by the water supply board is not potable.
It's not
Potable.
supplied by water supply board is not potable.
Not potable.
Of course, if it was potable, we would have supplied water directly, right? We are doing the filtration. We are getting the input water from the Bangalore Metro Water Supply Sewerage Board, then filter it to the required standards. So, of course, it's not potable, and that's why we are using the filtration modules.
I also need to point out the biggest challenge that at the meso scale that an organization like this might face if it starts succeeding is that there are a number of vested interests in very powerful water mafias at work in our cities. So I don't know at what level they will either be gobbled up or hit, but these are serious issues.
Thank you.